Back in September of 2015, we had the opportunity to chat with one of the beloved characters from Happy Days.
Ralph Malph, that's right. He was portrayed by actor Don Most. We learned a lot about Don, including some of his other passions, so check it out.
Don Most played Ralph Malph in the long-running TV show Happy Days. It was set right here in Milwaukee, of course. And in addition to acting, Don there he is, a director, but he says singing is actually his first love.
Yeah, and if you didn't see him in Milwaukee this past weekend, you can catch him in action in Madison. We're thrilled to welcome him to the show, along with cameraman Dave, for a very important reason. We think they look like brothers.
Exactly. Don't they look sort of alike? I love it. You guys actually were photographed together when cameraman Dave met you, Don. This was years ago. At the time you were in town, I think, for the bronzing of the Fonz.
Right.
Look at them.
Oh, wow.
What does it say on there, Dave?
It says, from one good-looking guy to another, Donnie Most.
And what did he say to you?
What did he say to your wife?
He said to my wife, when he met my wife, I like your taste in men.
You got good taste in men.
Good taste in men, yeah.
Right.
I like that.
That was great. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Yeah,
Bye, Dave.
Now you're kicking me out.
Bye,
That's it. You're out of here.
Cute.
They look good in there, like pink and blue,
Pink and
too.
blue. That was so
like
cute.
that.
We're so
Very
excited
colorful.
to have you here.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Tell us about Happy Days. I'm sure you talk about it all the time, but what was it like to be part of that show? Which, I mean, I know your kids have even watched the reruns of it.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. The group of people that were assembled to do that show, it was just that kismet, you know, where the personalities and the talent and the way we got along and respected each other, and had great mentors like Gary Marshall and our director Jerry Paris. It was just incredible, and then the show took off and became so huge. And back then there was only 3 networks, so you didn't have cable, you didn't have internet.
Yeah.
So we would have, like, a quarter of the country watching us every Tuesday night. So it was insane,
Yeah. What was it like going places? Even still now, do people always call you Ralph? Is that how they refer to you?
Not maybe back then more so. Now it's I get that sometimes, but it's a lot of times it's, hey, Donnie, or that kind of thing, and I don't get recognized as much as I did back in the real heyday of the show. But it still happens, and now they're showing it on Meet TV and DVDs. So it's some younger people who didn't know the show are starting to become fans, which is cool.
And how many years did you actually tape the show?
The show ran for 11 seasons. I did the first 7, and then it ran for 4 more, but a total of 11 seasons.
No, I heard that you live close to Anson Williams, who a lot of people know as Potsy, like 20 minutes or 20 miles or so from him. And do you still keep in touch and see each other?
All the time. I mean, we're great friends, and we speak to each other several times a week and see each other all the time, and do stuff together, like speaking engagements. And I did a show. I just came from Texas near Dallas, and I did a show, and he was down there for a charity event with me, and then he came to my show and came up on stage, and we had some fun. That kind of stuff. It's great that we're as close as we are.
Before we get to your first love, you're also still doing acting, which was not your first love, but it's something that you enjoy and love nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're in a couple shows, a movie, Follow, coming up?
Yes, a movie called Follow, which is a psychological thriller. It's a different kind of role. And it's premiering, I shot it in Austin, Texas a few months ago, and it's premiering at the end of this month at a big festival down there called Fantastic Fest. So I'm looking forward to that. And it looks like I have a few other independent films coming up that I'm going to do this year. So I don't want to, by any means, forget about acting. I love that and always will. But yes, my first love before I was acting, when I was very young, was singing, and singing I love all the great standards, the jazz standards and songs of the Great American Songbook. And I decided to, after many, many years, I was doing it professionally when I was 14, 15 years old, singing in the Catskill Mountains. And then I kind of gave it up, when I got into acting. But about a year and a half ago, I said, I know the timing felt right to go, that I have to do this.
You sound fantastic.
Oh,
I think
thanks.
you do too. A lot of people saw you sing in Happy Days.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And Glee?
And on Glee, I didn't get to sing.
But you had a recurring role.
I did have a recurring role, which was a lot of fun. It was a great set to work on, and but I don't know if they knew I could sing. And next time, well, Glee's done. But,
No, too late. You missed that boat.
Yeah, and they missed out. They missed out.
Yeah, they did.
But maybe that's something in the future, marrying in a musical. Musicals are kind of being revived in the film circuit.
Oh yeah, I would love to do something like that. And in the meantime, going out and doing these concerts I did it in New York City at a great jazz club, the Iridium, and out in LA, Catalina's Jazz Club. I just love it, and I love the swing and the big band kind of sound.
So you like the live audience and singing in front of a crowd like that?
Oh, it's so much fun, yeah. Because you feel them, and there's that electricity, and if you're on and they pick up, and then you pick up from what they're feeling, and becomes this kind of reciprocal communal thing.
That's cool. It's a 7-piece band that you perform with?
Yes, 3 horns. Sometimes I do it with big 17-piece band, but the economics of that don't always make that feasible. But even when I have the 7-piece, it's the arrangements are great and just swings. The name of the show is Donnie Most Sings and Swings.
Yeah.
Because I love that kind of sound. It's kind of like Sinatra stuff, and what Bublé was doing too, what he's doing. It's that. But like I said, since I was 14, even when I was 9 years old, I started getting into that music. So it's never, that's why they call them standards. For a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah, they stand the test of time.
What's something that most people don't know about you? We're almost out of time, but clearly a lot of people didn't, I think many people do know now about your singing, and especially if they followed your career, but what else is something people maybe don't know about you?
Well, the directing part too.
Yeah.
I've directed 3 independent films, and I'm hoping to do some more soon. The first one was called The Last Best Sunday. The second one was a film called Moolah, which I cast. She was 13 years old, and it was her first film. An actress named Shailene Woodley, who's really big.
Yeah, very big.
And I gave her her first film. And
you got a good eye.
She was 13. So, and it's a really good movie, Moolah. People should check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
More of an introvert.
Yeah.
But my
so is she.
Yeah? And my character was the total opposite on Happy Days. A total extrovert, but in real life I'm much more of an introvert. Yeah.
I always think that's funny when it comes to actors, how when you get to play those opposite type roles from who you truly are and experience that different sort of personality. Yeah,
it's funny. Some people have asked, is it easier to play a character that's similar to you or one that's very different? And that's a tough question. Sometimes it's easier to play something very different because you feel almost liberated or something, because it's not you and you could lose yourself in it.
That's cool. It was such a blast meeting you. Thanks for being in Milwaukee. You're well loved here. I know in a lot of places around the country, but especially here in Milwaukee.
Especially Milwaukee,
and you're welcome back on the yellow couch anytime.
Oh, I will be back for sure. I hope so.
Yeah, that would be great.
So great.